Hello, fellow duplicants. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to episode 31 of Oxygen Not Included, which originally streamed live on Twitch. All right, so let's get going. Let's recap. The last episode of the last stream, like the last 45 minutes or 50 minutes or so, we were tinkering around with. Let me slow time down. We were tinkering around with batch water filtration. It's not perfect. It's not even really elegant, but it works, and that's all that really matters. And in about 15 minutes time or so, I'm going to be giving you all the opportunity for you to vote on more or less how this ends. There will really only be two options. It will be build a monument or launch a rocket. I don't even know if I can do a rocket within the time frame of 5 hours, but we'll see. It would just be a basic steam rocket using every shortcut known to duplicants. But yeah, there you have it. That will be polled in just a minute. So some of the other projects that we worked on as well, we set up the transmission backbone. So that was from last stream. And this thing here allows us to carry 20 kilowatts of power, which is way more than we're producing. There is one side project, which I'm going to work on in the first 15 minutes or so, which is getting coal up, because we have an impending brownout. I have a very finite amount of natural gas left, because the natural gas geyser went dormant, and I need to set up coal so that I can keep the power on until the geyser gets reactivated again. So that's going to be my project until I put up the poll for how this all ends. There are some alternatives that I could do for power generation, but none as quickly as just setting up coal. So, coal be it, man. I could, electrolyze the water and turn the hydrogen into power, or, there's a lot of other things, obviously, that can be done, but not within a reasonable time frame. Oh yeah, the game is Sea of Thieves. That's really strange, because I had updated that. Alright, let's see if it worked again. Thank you, Trustin. Yeah, I had to restart my computer because of some bugs I was getting. And I guess that got reset. So, what is one thing that we're going to want to see is my kilowatt usage, right? I don't know how many coal generators to build without actually knowing how much power I use. So, wow, look at my power wasted. 0. Nice. Yeah, I'm thinking like 3 generators is probably going to be a sufficient amount. And it's going to be the world's most basic coal generation plant here. So we'll do a power control station. I'll make it out of lead because I, don't care. I can leave that undug. That doesn't matter. And then the one thing that we're going to need is a like a heavy watt line. Maybe I'll stick it here on a ladder. Like I'll have to just build a ladder up. So I lied. I will be digging out the roof. And then just some coal generators. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Doesn't take a lot of work. And then as soon as that is online, I will turn off the natural gas, because we're going to run out of natural gas pretty soon. So in here is going to be coal, obviously, consumable ore. Coal, let's set this to 9. And then the rest of the project builds on 9s as well. Set heavy watt wire made out of iron ore, that's fine. Up here and over. And that is it. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to have a signal switch to be able to turn everything off, without duplicant sort of interaction. Oh, there was one other thing that we probably ought to have, which is another storage bin for lead, so that we can tune up more easily. So I'll stick another storage bin here, which we absolutely cannot walk to. So let's, I lied. Let's budge everything back 1 tile. funny to build coal generators into a coal tile here. Alright, and that is it. Not so bad. And then just make sure that the coal is being hauled. So this here will be for... Let's make this for the coal, because it's closer to the generators itself. Done. And then this for the lead. And then this should have the same capacity and priority as the other power generator box, which is here. So copy settings, 1,500 kilograms of lead. Paste them in there. And then this is reading as a power plant, because it's enclosed. Good. Doesn't need to be pretty. Just needs to work. I'm even going so far as to stick in metal tiles for increased walking. And I might do that over here as well. Just because we have a lot of lead, and I can use it up to speed everyone up. Cool. All right. Yeah, if you refresh, the game should be updated. Shouldn't be a problem anymore. Hopefully. We'll chalk it up to like a lack of coffee. Yeah, I'll likely automate it the same way I automated my natural gas, which is to bring this automation wire down and then do an AND gate to make sure that I can control it manually and automatically. Like this. I just hadn't done the animation yet, or the automation yet. And then I have some problems staying between the lines. So, yep, there we go. Easy peasy. And how much natural gas do I have to spare? About 2.5 tanks worth, plus a tiny bit in ambient. The whatever's in ambient here, 18 grams, yeah, it's really not worth putting into those tanks. It's not dense enough. So we're almost done with that project. And in about 8 minutes time, I'm going to poll you about the other thing. Which is... Whoa, where is all that heat coming from? Alright, so... Yeah, let's... Hey, Desal, could you, what switches are you on? Yeah, this one? You are producing a bit too much heat, friend. And you are killing off our food supply. So, let's fix that. The automatic water here is producing a fair bit of heat as well. The chlorine in there is very hot. Weezeworts, I think, don't care about their environments. It's just, depending on the environment, they become more efficient. So I'm going to put a Weezewort in there. Now, one Weezewort is not going to do a whole lot of anything. I'll put a Weezewort here. Oh, the other thing is, I'm out of dirt, so I'm going to have to do this with clay. And I don't even know if I have enough clay. So that is another constraint. Breaking down the planter box will give me some clay. So that's 2 of 5. And then we'll go 1. And then I have to wait for them to break down. Got it. Yeah, the water's hot because the water from the desal. Exactly. What will happen eventually is the ice liquefiables here will melt, and the temperature of this water will drop once they do. Right now it's 93 Fahrenheit, which is hot. But as the ice melts, it might overflow. I didn't actually run the calculations. What is it, 20? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it will overflow. But it will be cold water at least. And it will only overflow like into this here and into here. So there's not really any problem of it going somewhere. Plus I could drop the level of the tank if I wanted to. That wouldn't be too much of a problem. So how's the power? We are tuning it up. And then I'm going to set these up to 7 so they get delivered with coal. We are setting everything with the lead floors so we can run around real fast. Are we out of lead? We might actually be out of lead, but that's fine. I can either dig it up or just forget the rest of the project. I don't really care. So you wrangle and drop off there. Oh, I see what happened. It actually matured to the point where it was no longer a stone hatchling, and it was a stone hatch, and we didn't actually put it anywhere. That's kind of funny. Alright, let's actually give this thing some coal. And they're just tuning it up. Y'all don't know where coal is? Come on now. I have a ridiculous amount of it, don't I? 37 tons. Yep. Now, where is my coal? I guess that's the better question. Not being delivered is where it is. Oh, there it goes. So we're finally getting some coal delivered. And I can bring these back down to like 7. And then we'll see if the automation works. And it seems to. The smart batteries topped off and the coal generators went inactive. Which is exactly what we were looking for. So, to that end, let's stop with the signal switch. This signal switch, what it does is it stops sending natural gas to our natural gas generators. So it allows the natural gas generators to run on whatever's left in the pipes. And then once the pipes are emptied, it will go idle by design. Okie dokie. So that project is largely done. I'm just going to keep an eye on it to make sure it kicks on when coal is requested. Oh, and Cheese leveled up. He's been the only dupe that I've actually been adding skills to, but I think he's actually done at this point. Cool. I'm going to lower the priority of tuning up the natural gas generators. No real need as we're moving away from using natural gas as a method of powering up the base. And yeah, I think we're just about ready to start that poll. So how should this series end? One of two choices here. How should this series end? A grand monument to our success. So that is referring to one of the ways to win the game, which is right here, monuments. And this would require us to start to produce a lot of ceramics, steel, and glass. And it's actually a way to beat oxygen not included, I guess. It's one of the 2 win conditions. The other one is not actually a win condition. It is just to try to get the first rocket launch up to space. So let me know between those 2 options what you think is best, and I will put a 5-minute timer on that and then work on whatever wins after 5 minutes. And there really won't be too many subsequent polls because the requirements to get these projects done means that basically nothing else is going to be done. No other priorities are going to be addressed. Or, yeah. So there you go. How will it end? Oh, the lovely hostilities of space. I look up for just a second, and it's smash, smash, smash. Speaking of smashing, I think I am going to queue this up. Faucet lime smashing. I also... want to head over to this diamond. I think, given how this poll is going, I'm going to need some diamond. There is fortunately plenty of it down here, so that shouldn't be much of an issue. Oh, look at that. Body temperature is killing off my everything. So the planter boxes that I wanted, let's just tag this as high priority. It's now hurting my ability to feed myself, so please, could you finish? Forget that, I don't care. And they already restored the ice. 'Tis fine. I think they're actually breaking it. Yeah, there's the Wheezeworts. So here's the clay that I needed. We'll put one here, and as soon as we get a little bit more clay from a broken down box, we'll stick more of them in. Well, I have 10? Let's take a look at this heat cloud. So... trying to get this set up ASAP. And this is what happens, essentially, when thing goes unchecked, is the heat, because of how sensitive the bristle blossoms are, the heat from the desalinator process bled into everywhere and caused a giant famine. Or, not famine yet, because I have stockpiled food, but it would be a famine if not addressed quickly. So, I'm doing that addressing now. Looks like I'm about to dump water into the oil biome. Yeah, it does. I mean, I don't really care. I'm not using the water. One of the wonderful things is when the series is over, all of these sort of like... I don't care about the future, right? Like, if I cause a big mess, who cares? I don't have to live with it. So, those sort of nitpicky maintenance things, they don't matter. Because, yeah, that... none of it will have long-term... So, if something isn't going to affect me in the next, let's say, 4.5 hours, I don't need to worry about it, don't need to sweat it, don't need to address it. Burning through resources, killing off my entire ranch, like, those things are totally fine to do at this point. Because I am on a... I'm on the clock. I'm on a time limit. So it looks like trying to head to the closest asteroid via rocket is going to win. So what that means is I'm going to need to start to make steel. I'm just going to set this to infinite, even though I have a very finite amount of lime to be able to make it. But we'll make as much steel as we can, because we're going to need the bunker tiles and bunker doors in order to keep the asteroids from destroying everything that we build. Wheezeworts are not the only way to lower temp. There's a lot of other ways to lower temp. But they're one of the simplest, which is why I've employed that method. Alright, so let's update this priority. work towards building a rocket. So here, the Wheezewort immediately has a positive effect on these, and as you can see, the bristle blossoms are bouncing back. I think what I will do here is stick a pneumatic door in here instead of what I had, and then stick more of the temperature modifying Wheezeworts in this area as well. Trying to bring that ambient temperature down as much as I can. Because obviously it's annoying that it produced that much. Alright. Because we were headed to a food shortage, I definitely want to hunt the Pacu. And... no, all tasks. No. Critters, critical. Oh, you just don't... what is there, like, no concept of, like, critical hunting? I guess not? I don't know, whatever. Have a played Prison Architect? I have. And Shield has linked you the playlist. Thank you, Shield. So here we are, trying to produce as much steel as I can. I have enough for like one bunker door, which is not enough. So first things first, we should talk about what is needed for a space project. You could do a bare minimum space project, which is to get some scanners out there that aren't very automated and get destroyed commonly. I suppose that could be done. I'm going to try to avoid that. I'm going to actually try to do it properly, even though I'm burning towards the finish. So by properly, it means a somewhat protected telescope. So in order to actually see the orbital bodies out there, we need a telescope. And in order to protect a telescope, I'm going to need to make bunker tiles and bunker doors a priority. Without bunker doors and bunker tiles, everything that we build out here gets absolutely walloped by asteroids and subsequently destroyed. So I'm going to set the bunker door up here. Any higher and this regolith starts to fall. So putting it here allows me to build it and then not immediately have a collapse of burning hot regolith melting down on my head. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get enough steel for a proper scanning for bunker tiles and all that, but we'll see. I'll go as far as I can. And there you go. I gave you the Yoda cam. I disabled the Yoda cam before stream so that my my intro scenes can't be overrode. And yeah, we are humming with coal now. The natural gas line is running low, so that will soon go dormant. And finally, my Pacu that I printed up are getting hunted. I think. Sort of. Not really. It's kind of strange. I say hunt 9, and they're just like, yeah, but no. Let's see, attacking. There. I like maxed out attacking for all of the dupes that are good at it. Gotta get that sushi, you know? How old is Yoda? He's almost 10. Almost 10. Hey, buddy. You want a treat? He's an old pupper. So the other thing I have to keep an eye on is whether or not my crude oil stays at an appropriate temperature to operate as coolant. So that's something to keep an eye on. What I suspect will end up happening, and I believe it already has, is that the output line from the metal refinery, yeah, is full. There's nowhere to store it. Because I really didn't design this metal refinery loop for mass production. It's just not something that I had in mind when I threw it together. It was, well, thrown together. So the fertilization, yeah, so here's what I'm going to do. No more ranch. Too much effort. I could switch them over to berries, but that's going to take more work than I care to commit to. So we'll just go with no more. Where did this leak from? I don't... Oh, yeah, okay. I see where it leaked from. There was some plumbing here that I destroyed because I didn't do foreground-only tiles. I did background tiles. What I should have done is buildings like that. Got it. Alright, I'll work to put that back. That was the water-fed loop for the bristle blossoms. Alright, fix that quick. Alright, here we go. The, no. You don't need to tame or shear or anything. Killing them off. Wish I didn't have that leak. It's like more effort to clean it up than it's worth. So now that the natural gas is just about out, I'm going to lower these priorities to 1 so we don't really tune them up. Lowering all of that down to 1. Howdy, Lynn. How you doing today? Welcome. And 0 progress has been made up here so far. So I'm going to start digging on either side of this so that it doesn't conduct heat into the ladder. And that way I can actually use some of the plastic that I have to make a plastic ladder, which is a pretty good method to speed up commute times. The direct ranch is done, so I'll just dig up the mealwood. I don't have need of that mealwood anymore. I don't want to waste any labor delivering fertilizer or tending to it at all. And in fact, I might break down these farm tiles to regain some of the materials that are locked up in them. Or keep the suit dock intact so that we are not burning our eyes in the hydrogen. So to talk about scanning space again, there's several things that you're going to need to do. The asteroids from space hit regularly, and if you don't scan for them and close these bunkered doors when they do hit, you'll end up with a scenario where like everything that you build gets destroyed. So in order to do that, you need to set up a space scanner. But space scanners are rather annoying because space scanners require a large swath of space unobstructed by everything, essentially. Almost everything blocks their view, or certainly everything that can block an asteroid blocks their view. So the concept is simple. You set up space scanners underneath bunker doors, and then when the space scanners detect incoming hits, you close the bunker doors so that nothing below the bunker doors gets destroyed. The bunker doors, because they're made out of steel, their temperature tolerance is high enough that they can get subsequent hits, and as long as there isn't temperature-sensitive equipment attached to the doors themselves, the doors stay intact. And actually, I'm going to use some of that kinetic temperature. So here you can see the bunker doors flying up in temperature. It's already flown past boiling. And that's actually exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to harness some of the really, really, really hot impacts from space and turn that heat to steam and then power up a steam rocket. So that is the plan. Hey, Glitch, thank you for the bits. Welcome. Or, well, you've been here the whole time. You've been here before I even started streaming. But thank you. I shouldn't autopilot all the time. Yeah, so for bunker doors, we're going to need a whole lot of steel. So the way the space scanners work, I don't even think the in-game wiki database covers the full annoyance of space scanners. No, it really doesn't say very much about it. Which I would say is unfortunate. So the way they work is that they scan in sort of a V or a cone above them. And it's not even symmetrical. Now, your space scanner doesn't need an absolutely perfect view of the sky. 2 scanners with, like, partial data is usually enough to close your bunker doors in time, providing that your bunker doors don't have some sort of power shortage. But that's another thing, is closing a bunch of bunker doors all at once is a huge surge of power requirements, which means that this trunk that we have here is going to need to go up into space so that when all of a sudden we need a crazy amount of power to close those doors, we have that power available to us. So this main trunk line here is going to go essentially clear to space. I'm going to put it through this water lock and have it come out the other side, like this. And then this will be fed, like, we'll need to transform it. Actually, yeah, let me transform it, let me transform it here, because we have space for transformers. So I'll transform it here, and then we'll run the rest of it all the way up. Cool. That ought to work. It'll be ugly, but it ought to work. Let me check on the steel. That's not where it is. Waiting for materials. Okay, it is being fed coolant. So, it's slow, it's inefficient, but it's working. And don't fix it if it ain't broke. So back to what I was saying about the scanners. Scanners need to have a clear view of sky, 13 tiles left and 15 tiles right. And not, so that's a, total of 28 tiles, and then not be next to one another, because they have to scan their own segment of the sky. So spacing them apart about 28 tiles is also wise. So what this is eventually going to look like is it will be something like, I'm just going to pause to show you, it will be something like this, where we have like one scanner here, we'll have, 28 tiles, and another scanner here, and then bunker doors running all the way out to protect them on either side. That's sort of the ideal. And the more scanners that you build, the more heads up you have for when incoming impacts are coming your way. So it's very, very useful to have sort of like advanced warning in that way. And I am going to start setting up the bunker door network, I guess. Which is what is very steel intensive. So this is one of the reasons why you need to either ranch Pokey or dig up fossils or something like that, because it requires a lot of lime and it requires a lot of coal for the refined carbon, and of course requires refined iron, but we have plenty of refined iron on this map tile, so that's not so much an issue. Do meteors have any use for resources that are unusable? So on this map tile, I believe the only source of gold is through meteors, but none of these meteors... Oh yeah, here we go. Here's some gold amalgam. So I've never had gold amalgam available to me prior to hitting space here, because it's just not something that you ever find. So gold amalgam, for one, would be a resource in Badlands that are only obtained in space. But generally, like if you're on a basic map tile, that's not the case. If you're on a basic map tile, the starter map tile, you'll have plenty of gold amalgam in the slime biomes, so it's not that useful now. Depends on your biome. So for now, I'm just going to set up like a ladder gantry. Well, it's not really gantry, but a ladder system. Am I venting air into space right now? No. I am not. There's a water lock here and a water lock here. The only things I'm venting is chlorine. Unwanted chlorine and unwanted carbon dioxide into space, but nothing that I would want to keep. So I'm not using CO2 or anything like that. Why not build bunker door at the end of the map? I could, but I didn't want to have to deal with impacts until I'm ready for impacts. Also, going high doesn't really help you unless you need the real estate, because all it does is increases the commute time for the duplicants to get up there. So it's not helpful to me to make the dupes run further, I guess, which is why I haven't bothered to do that. I mean, heck, you could even, if you wanted, to dig out like some weird, crazy vertical tunnel all the way down, which would actually severely limit the possibility of your rocket taking hits, because asteroids would have to come straight down your like missile launch tube. You could send rockets from the magma biome if you wanted. There's really no reason you couldn't. So if you dug a vertical tube out and put your rocket down here, yeah, why not? It's obviously not very efficient, which is why I'm not doing it, but it's legal. So this here is 28 tiles now, and then I need to work on 15 tiles to the right and 12 tiles to the left for it to be ideal. So that's the next project. Yep, keep digging. And there is a limit into space that you can build. Yeah. Achievement. Survived 1 year. Went from Badlands to space in 1 year. Not bad. Not super fast, but not bad. Alright, so once we have the igneous delivered for this ladder, we'll set up the other bunker doors. You can also see that we're collecting meat and other random materials. One of the issues with digging into space is now, here is an example of like refined iron, which is incredibly hot, and copper ore and gold amalgam, all incredibly hot, and that heat can be introduced into the it can be introduced into your storage, because my storage isn't like sweep only or anything like that. Again, because this is the last stream ever, I don't really care about heat. So if I end up with like heat problems whatever. It won't affect me in the long run, so I won't bat an eye to it. All right. The other thing I'm going to need is transformers. I'm going to do a large power transformer. It'll be the first one that we've built because I want to carry more than a 2K watt conductive wire over there. I want to do a heavy watt conductive wire. Actually, no, that won't work. What can get... Do I have to run 2Ks? Maybe I have to do 2 separate 2Ks. That's probably what I need to do. Which means running 2 separate wires through here, which should be fine. Annoying, but fine. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So let me hotkey this. This will be 2. And up here will be 3. So I can watch the steel making process and then the space dock process. So at the moment I'm not having any strikes, which means I'm building without much issue, but it's going to be very important to get these bunker doors up promptly, or well, it's really only ladders that would get destroyed, which is not that big of a deal, but we don't want that. Hey, Valandix, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. So if I'm completely out of lead, that's probably not a good position to be in because I'm tuning up with lead. So let me detour a second down here just to grab a little lead. So that I can keep tuning up the coal. And we'll set this as higher priorities. We'll do that priority 9. So if I'm going to do 2 separate 2K lines, let's see here. Something like that will be in order. Give puppies a treat? Don't mind if I do. Hey, dude. I'll even give you a puppy cam. You can watch them eat. So I can control it manually. And then run the heavy watt line. Over to it. I may need to crush this statue a little bit. And then it will come out as a 2K line, 2 separate 2K lines here and here, which will get fed up to the gates up top. So one line can run, as ugly as this is, one line can run down here, and then the other can run like that. There. So we have 4K running up on 2 separate networks on 2 different transformers. Another achievement. Block a meteor with the bunker door. So yeah, you'll start to see the impacts hitting the bunker doors. And this is when the space scanners would normally order the steel doors closed for protection. Because if you don't, things that aren't bunker tiles, or bunker doors get destroyed. The other thing that we probably want to do is when these bunker doors open back up, they drop their material down onto, like, when they open up, this regolith drops. It doesn't get automatically mined. I could set up auto miners, so that would be probably another route for me to take. You know, hooking up auto miners to get rid of the regolith so that it doesn't become a problem. But then we require air conditioning, so I think I'm going to do it manually, which is what I'm saying is a less efficient method of dealing with the buildup of regolith, but won't require me to set up like a 2-hour job of hooking up automatic auto mining and a heat conditioning system, which is a bit out of scope. Yeah, you can already see the negative heat from the desalination process is starting to get deleted. The electric grill is obviously a little hot, and we've been doing a lot of cooking because we just killed off all the Drekos and killed off all the Paku and crushed a lot of eggs and whatnot. I'm sure a lot of that food is actually just going to spoil. And I'll set some more wheezes up around. I have 3 dogs, yeah. I'll try to call the other ones in. Alright, we'll see if they show. They go at their own pace. Oh, here comes Tusk. Hi, Tusky. Ni hao. Ni hao. Thank you. Alright, we'll just keep bunker dooring. Mining out the same sort of tunnel. Yeah, water is full. I know it was going to overflow. I don't really care. All that ice melted all at the same time. So we'll just mop up what spilled out. Some of it spilled up over here, which was sort of a catch basin that I had set up. And then some went straight back into the pump that feeds back into the system. And I think what I'm going to do is put nothing in this bin. No more ice. But as you can see, the temperature of this water went from like 35 Celsius to 20 Celsius. So it's very comfortable. Actually, that would be like government ideal. 68 Fahrenheit is what government buildings are set at, usually. So I call that a success. Do you ever think about getting a kitten? One of my dogs is dreadfully allergic to cats, and no. I also have some relatives that are allergic to cats. But maybe we'll keep them at bay. Right, pup? Yeah. So if we're going for the mining method of dealing with regolith buildup, one of the things that we could do is... Oh, well, here comes more regolith. One of the things that we could do is start to also pick where we're going to put the telescope. So the telescope, there is some requirements. The telescope also, just like the space scanners, require direct line of sight. And they require direct line of sight. Oops, sorry for the scanning. I'm just trying to read the wiki. I wonder if it will actually say in the built-in. No, it really doesn't say anything. But it also needs to be supplied with oxygen. And duplicates have to hop in there, you know, to actually do the scanning itself. So, the only tiles right above the roof are calculated for visibility, and it's asymmetric. It's 5 tiles on the left side, 2 on the right side, And any reduction will also reduce the efficiency of the telescope. What I think I'm going to try to do is put the telescope somewhere in the middle. Basically where this plastic ladder is going. And it also needs to be supplied with a flow of oxygen. So I do have this oxygen line here that I can send up to the telescope, which was feeding these soup docks. And this line is fairly well supplied by our rust deoxidizer system. Did we end up getting that lead? No. And we didn't get the diamond either. That's okay. We have a lot of projects working on. I'm going to increase the priority of the space projects to neglect other stuff. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included Badlands, which originally streamed live on Twitch March 31st. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind that this series has since ended, and it was also casual without backseat gaming allowed. If you'd like to catch live streams of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream of some other game. Farewell.